meeting minutes of their approved recommendations were not provided to the council. After looking at their agenda, it appears that the nominations were not even on the agenda. There is no evidence that the boards reviewed the application in a publicly posted meeting. Therefore, they either met privately in violation of the Open Meetings Act or did not review the applications, and one or more directors have represented that they had. I recommend that all REDC agendas and meeting minutes henceforth be included on the city government website to promote transparency.
Any other discussion?
I believe the REDC agendas, if I understood Savannah correctly, have been subsequently posted on the city's website.
They are posted, they're just not stored there, and
They're what?
they are posted, they're just not stored there, and if I may, your recommendation is to have them all there in this day.
Much like we have the council meetings and we have our agendas, we have our
Because we
our
post them on the
meetings.
home page, and then each new meeting you'll have, we just repost it.
I got you.
So,
We have no control over that.
correct, so that would be on a city staff level.
Yeah, I have several questions, and I'll submit them to the mayor and to you. But regarding this item, because of these items, and because it does highlight items that are not going well, and not promoting economic development, and not following Open Meetings Act, and not being discussed in the publicly to bring to our meetings, and representing nominees that have a conflict of interest, I move once again to reject the changes to the bylaws.
And seconded.
Motion made and seconded. All approved?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passed. Agenda item 10, right?
Yes.
Discuss and consider approving the REDC to receive a gift from David Pickerel, parcel numbers 55777, 55778, 52685, and 691.
In your packet, Steve, if I may, in your packet, I provided a map outlining the parcel numbers. So if Steve is speaking to those, you can see which ones they are.
Yes, David Pickerel was gracious enough to offer this to the EDC. At our last meeting, we voted to go ahead and receive it subject to commission approval. I've gotten with the city attorney in regards to this, and I didn't even, according to her, have to put this on tonight's agenda to be approved prior to receiving the gift, but I did. Spoke with the mayor privately about this, and she asked that it be posted anyway, which I did do that, and that's what this is.
And also, if this is approved by commission, I think Steve has asked that a letter be sent that it's a gift that the City Economic Development Corporation is receiving and the value of that.
Well, I understand from the attorney that the value is set by the grantor or the donor.
Okay.
Of the property.
In your packets, you have what the market value is listed at. So, if that's the case, then I don't know what Mr. Hickrell has of that.
Is that the value that we use for the donation?
Do what?
Is that the value you'll use for the donation?
No, David had spoke with us because thinking that he wanted $2,000 gift certificate for each and every lot, all four of them.
Okay, I just have one question, and it's more out of curiosity than anything, because all four of these lots are in the Meadowbrook subdivision.
Yes.
So I'm sure, I don't know for sure, I didn't check it out and I should have. I know in my neighborhood, we have deed restrictions as to
There are
what
some
can
there.
count. There are in Meadowbrook. So you basically are taking in 4 residential lots, so you can't do anything commercial on it, correct?
Right.
So it can't be used for economic development.
It can be, it can also. Simple reason, I have a potential purchaser for 2 of the lots already that will buy them from the economic development.
They're gonna put a business in there or
No.
No.
House.
a house? Okay,
I
okay.
I think what can happen as a gift, they can, with several properties, the law allows, and I think this is under 272 or 251, that allows the gift of that if, in the case of economic development, if it can't be used, or if it was for a project, like it was recently the 40 acres, if it was for a project and the project's no longer valid, it can be sold off or disposed of accordingly. Same thing with gifts. If it is a gift of a residential or any type of gift, they can dispose of that for an asset and time for financial evidence. So it's not a, I don't think it's, if you couldn't do a commercial business there.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't think they
Right.
could, I just didn't want anybody coming in.
When I calculate the value, I calculate $3,630. He was gonna do less.
That what?
I calculate $3,630 per market value. He was going to say it was less.
No,
You want to do 2,000 per,
Per,
per
Oh,
lot,
per lot.
$58,000.
yeah.
Oh, okay, gotcha. That's gonna have to be, I guess,
Do what?
Just talk to the attorney. I would know what to, if the
I have-
grantor values it, then so long as it doesn't change our.
maybe get that in writing from Mr. Pickerel.
Beg your pardon?
Get the value in writing from Mr. Pickerel, and we can write a letter on it.
He was gonna be here tonight, I thought, but I don't see him. And, so it's, you know, to state that.
Yes, sir.
So you wanted me to get what?
The value in writing, so that way the letter for the gift has it. We
Okay.
have somewhere where we came up with the number from.
Is he looking for the value on that letter, or just that we received it, that the EDC or the city accepts it's
The
received as
last,
a gift?
the last gift, it had the value listed.
Okay.
most times when you do that, it has to have the value.
Yeah, because he was gonna write it off of his income
Yeah.
tax.
So if he just wants to list the value, just list the value of the exchange.
Yeah, well, so what do I need to get him to,
Just put it in writing for the 3 lots, have the value of each.
okay. Okay. All 4 of them?
Yes, or 4 lots, yeah, sorry.
Which board is receiving the gift? Is it A board or B board?
I was gonna go through the B board.
I don't think it matters, I think it's just how we clarify this.
Because he has a potential buyer, a new family that's moved to town recently that wanted to buy 2 of the lots. Good thing, there's a 1,200 square foot restriction minimum, and also a percentage of the amount of brick to be on the house. David bought these lots back in the 1970s, and he's been paying taxes on them all these years.
Okay, do I have a motion to accept this with a letter from Mr. Pickerel with the amounts for the properties?
I'll make a motion that we accept,
Okay,
okay, and just with getting the letter that we need,
okay, great.
yeah.
I'll second.
Second it. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion passed. Item agenda 11, discuss the Eastern County Water Supply District input water sample at the Texas Water Utilities Association for the Best Tasting Water Challenge Contest.
Okay, this is just more for informational purposes. I wanted to put this on the agenda, and I will do probably the same with the city of Eastland. But, I'll go back in time a little ways, or start about 7 years. But, when the board of directors of the Eastland County Water Supply District terminated our prior superintendent, the district hired Emprotech Hibbs and Todd Engineering to oversee our day-to-day operations at the water treatment plant. They also kept us in compliance and trained our operators. In 2 cases, had to retrain operators that were currently licensed. We then hired, subsequent to that, 2 years ago, we hired Chad Roberts, who is a very capable and competent superintendent. He's a quick learner, a team builder, and a great leader. Chad has taken a very aggressive stance with our new operators and new hires, and it is self-evident with the results. Terry, our secretary, has accomplished and became very competent and proficient and professional in all aspects of the district's office management, accounting, grant and loan management, district banking and debt services, collecting all necessary paperwork and data for all of the required reports, assists Chad with his responsibilities, has the district's best interest at heart, and rides herd over all of us at the district board included. The Eastland County Water Supply District is a member of the Texas Water Utility Association, Central West Texas District, which includes Callahan, Eastland, Palapino, Shackelford, Stevens, and Taylor counties. They had a school set up for the 9th, 10th, and 11th of May, which is continuing education credits for everyone that attends. It was in Abilene, and Chad and Ken took classes on water laboratory. They are both C operators now, and we hired Brett Logan recently from Ranger here also as a new hire. He took basic water classes. On May 9th, TWUA held a water tasting contest, which all entities there entered into. The Eastland County Water Supply District won the contest, and the district will receive a plaque and for this accomplishment very soon. This is a great accomplishment for the district and both the cities of Ranger and Eastland and all of their retail and wholesale customers. I look for accomplishments such as this one to continue and to turn our water supply district into a model district for others to emulate, and the district to set a new standard for the industry. The district can do these things because the district has the correct and best team possible to accomplish these goals in the district's continued quest for excellence. But like I say, they're just for informational purposes. That's why I wrote this.
No action needed on
Yeah, can I,
the June.
well, unless anybody else, I was going to defer, let anybody else speak first. I want to be guilty of cornering everything because I have a lot to say. The first 2 years I was too easy, I think, sometimes. Congratulations on the water taste. Again, this was my prepared statement earlier, so go ahead and read that. With cost of water increasing, drought conditions, and several critical failures at the dam, the update we received is water taste. Although Ranger supposedly has 4 representatives on the board of directors, including the president, and said board does not report to the city commission, the information of the critical role of the water district plays can only be learned if one attends the meetings or requests through a PIR, public information request. The agendas, meeting minutes, etc. are not readily available to the public. I recommend a letter from the council asking the water district to make the records available through their website, much like I did on the REDC. We should have historical data of what their meetings are and what's going on. Partly because I requested an update from one of the city's representatives regarding the repairs of the gates and the silting up of the lower gates. This has been going on for quite some time, and we, to my knowledge, have no updates. If any actions that the district is taking to their advantage during the historical low lake levels, given the silting up of the water intake tower, how much is the lake silted up? How much store capacity is diminished? As the levels drop, will the percent of contaminants increase? Will the cost increase to remove these contaminants? How has the city performed during the stage 1 drought? Have we entered into stage 2 yet, or we're still on the verge? And we don't even know how we've done on stage 1. I believe having one of the 4 representatives provide a report in the commission meetings is appropriate because of the access regarding via recorded public meeting. I think it has been common that we would send an additional person, whether it be the city manager, public works director, to those meetings, to the water district meetings. And yet we have 4 representatives on that board who do not come to this table and tell us or tell the city what's going on. We are a major buyer, $1.4 million in water purchase into a single vendor. And we have to go to that vendor to get any information of how things are going. I don't even know if gate 2 has been repaired, if we're still pumping water and using diesel and treatment, nothing. No, we don't know much, and because we haven't received much. And we have 4 elected, hopefully, elected representatives to that board. So I recommend, I'm glad that we have good tasting water. There's a lot of things that I think we need to know as a city that we don't know, and it would be nice to have the representatives come tell us. It could be, they could rotate, there's 4 of them, a different one every month or whatever, but that's just my recommendation, to get more information as we prepare for stage 2 and whatever's beyond, because we don't know. But that's just a recommendation, there's no motions, it's just discussion.
Action on it.
No action.
Okay. Agenda item 12, discuss, consider city commission allowing an office at City Hall for the mayor. As a mayor, when I came in to City Hall the day after I was sworn in, it astounded me that the mayor didn't have an office where he can, or she can take care of their business in a beneficial way. Not to oversee the day-to-day operation of the city, that belongs to the city manager, but to have a place where you can go and you have to sign documents, you have to take care of business matters. Otherwise, you're having to sit in the city manager's office or somewhere else, taking up their space and their time at their desk to take care of city business. So I just asked the commission if I can have a little desk somewhere, just to be able to do what I need to do for the city. So any discussion?
I'm deferring to others first. Okay, mine won't be pleasant. Mayor and City Council, again, I prepared just because I didn't know. Our form of government is considered a council manager form of government. It is not a council mayor form of government. The charter says in Article 5, Section 1, municipal government, the municipal government of the city of Ranger shall consist of the city commission, which shall be composed of 5 commissioners, one of whom shall be the mayor of the city. Under the same article, Section 11, duties of mayor, the mayor of the city shall be the presiding officer of the commission, sign all bonds, be the official head of the city, and exercise all powers and perform all duties imposed upon him by this charter and by the ordinances of the city. Section 20, however, city manager shall be the administrative head of the municipal government and shall be responsible for the efficient administration of all departments. Section 21, powers and duties of the city manager, lists several, and I would add to that, in addition to the contract that we recently did with the city manager, we had an exhibit that spelled out even more duties that we expect of the city manager to carry that out. In the 2022 handbook for mayors and council members produced by the Texas Municipal League, page 26, powers of the mayor and council manager, home rule cities. Under the council manager form of government in a home rule city, and I'm quoting from the handbook, the mayor's administrative responsibilities differ sharply from those of a mayor and mayor council city. Under the council manager plan, the mayor has no day-to-day administrative duties. These are vested in a city manager who is responsible for implementing policies established by the council. In most council manager cities, the mayor is in the city hall on an irregular basis and is involved very little in routine operational matters. The charters, and I'll continue with the handbook, the charters of most council city manager cities make it clear that decision-making is to be exercised by the full council and that the mayor is to be considered the same as any other member of the council for policy purposes. This is accomplished by concentrating administrative powers in the hands of the city manager and requiring action by the whole council, and not just the mayor, to appoint key board and commission members. And finally, a number of state laws further ensure that the full council a share appointed powers. Unquote. The mayor indeed does have a few more responsibilities, but absolutely no more authority than any other council member. If an office were to be made available to the mayor, would one have to be made available for each commissioner? This in turn could cause potential violations of the Open Meetings Act. Of the 1,000 plus cities in the state of Texas, I could not locate a home rule council manager city with a population of less than 10,000 that maintains an office for the mayor nor the council members. This was not discussed nor necessary for the past 2 mayors, and I'm not even sure when in Ranger's history this has been done. I feel that this action or request, whether intended or not, indicates a vote of no confidence in the city manager and the city administration. It is designed to undermine the authority of the commission as a whole, the city manager, and city administration. It is poorly thought out insulting to the city and unprecedented.
That was not my intention.
It may not be, but it comes off that way. And I think it makes it very difficult for the rest of the commission to establish an office and establish a place for one of the 5 commissioners, excluding the other 4. And one, we haven't budgeted, is this going to require funds? And it gets into many other questions that don't need to be asked. I don't think we've survived without that. Maybe not the best way, but when I look at many other cities, and I try to do that, I may be accused of power hungry, whatever, but I try to look at other cities and how they've survived and what they're trying to do, and is it succeeding or is it failing? And this isn't one of the issues that has failed anywhere else. It works. When I've seen the past mayor come in, he signs what he needs to sign. He's here for a limited amount of time, and it doesn't require a special space to do all of that. I think that, my opinion, this is not anything but that, but I think when present to sign or do the things, the duties that are added to the mayor, doing that with the city manager is probably the most appropriate thing anyway. There's not a separation of that because the city manager has the administrative duties to do that. Most of the things, I may be wrong, I served as a mayor, but most of the things I think that need to be done is the execution, bill signature, and those documents. There's no other decision-making that's made separate that's not made by the full council. And so setting it up separate from that sets up a figurehead that becomes confusing to the public. It empowers or makes them believe that they're empowered over anyone else. And I think that's a bad image. I think it's bad for it undermines the council, in my opinion. So I move not to have a separate office. There's spaces, this chamber, I've seen that done often. Her desk, I've seen city manager, past and present, give up their office to execute the things they need to for that, if there's a moment of privacy that's needed to do that. But I don't believe in establishing an office, not for the mayor nor any other council member. That's just headed to disaster to do something like that, in my opinion. So I move not to do that.
I have a motion, do I have a second, or any other discussion?
I'll second.
Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion passed. Agenda item 13, discuss, consider adjournment. Do I have a motion to adjourn?
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Meeting adjourned.
6:25.